Hey everyone, it's Erica. Today, I'm on my way to Cedarburg, Wisconsin for a very special reason. The Cedarburg Art Museum has an annual Juried exhibition called Now You See Me, which features self-portraits of Wisconsin artists. My friend encouraged me to submit to the call, and I was one of 47 artists selected. My work is called Keepsake. It's an abstract self-portrait told through the treasured objects that define me. I handcrafted the steel jewelry box to reflect my background in welding, and painted the possessions inside to capture my identity, memories, and values. Each item invites the viewer to piece together who I am, exploring how we define a person through their belongings. In this video, I'll be breaking down the creation of the jewelry box, from inspiration to fabrication, and everything in between. This sculpture began as a simple sketch from a 17-year-old high school student. I was in technical school taking welding courses and heard about the Skills USA sculpture competition from one of my instructors. That lit the match and my creative juices started flowing, but the ballerina had been an idea in my mind for quite a while. After high school, I pursued my degree in welding and metal fabrication. It was my second year as a full-time student in the program when I began to fabricate the sculpture in 2019, bringing the form to life starting with the flower and the ballerina figure. Each petal was shaped by hand using a plasma cutter. Then I formed them gently with an Oxy-acetylene torch. Because they're made of stainless steel, they took on beautiful colors, some reds and golds. For the ballerina, I drew the silhouette in CAD and created a scaled-down version. This created 3 layers that I lined up and welded together to get a rounded shape. I used rivet stems to create the skirt as a nod to my found object art that got me started in metalworking. At the same time, I drafted the layout for the jewelry box, blending function with form. I used my knowledge of SolidWorks to design the jewelry box components with the radius form included. It took some trial and error to get this perfect, but it was really nice to cut it out on a laser just to the right shape to have them come together edge to edge. I wanted this work to feel precious and industrial all at once. It was the first time I polished stainless steel to a mere finish. Then I went over with a stencil and a Scotch-Brite pad to create a design in the side of it. The idea was to make it look like an antique jewelry box, delicate and detailed. It was at this unfortunate moment where I had to give this work a break. It was spring of 2020, and COVID had shut down my school. Classes were all online, and I could no longer work on my sculpture. Even more devastating, the Skills USA competition was canceled. It would have been my last year to compete as I was graduating in the spring. I saved all the components I had made and stored them away, hoping one day I would finish my work. That leads us to 2024, where I met a fellow creative as I was trying to socialize more, and after hearing me talk so passionately about this project, he encouraged me to start working on it again. The last hurdle to overcome was figuring out how to add the final touch, a mechanism that allows the ballerina to spin. That motion brought it to life. No longer having access to the equipment for polishing stainless steel to a mere finish, I ended up buying some pre-finished sheets and cut an oval mirror and some floral details to add to the cover. I used the same design for the Scotch-Brite pattern on the side and incorporated it into the floral design for the cover. This jewelry box holds more than objects. It holds identity, family, childhood, and craft. It's a self-portrait without a face, built with tools, memory, and imagination. In part 2, I'll show you how I use painting to layer in even more personal meaning, turning the interior into a collage of cherished belongings. A call for art from a small museum in Wisconsin gave me enough creative directive to transform this piece into something even more meaningful and let the world finally see the hard work that was stopped in 2020. If you would like to see this work, it will be on view at Cedarburg Art Museum through August 3rd of 2024. Thanks for coming on this creative journey with me, and I'll see you in the next one.